Well, greetings. Greetings to you in the name of the Most High. I greet you amidst all that goes on in the world right now. And I greet you about, an hour and 45 minutes from another lockdown in Sri Lanka. Gotta get across town here before this whole thing takes place. Boy, I tell you, just another representation of the absolute inability of people to manage the simplest of things. This whole thing, if people wanted a solution, there was always a solution. But some lessons for you from Sri Lanka. You can see for yourself. Just go and take a look at how badly managed everything's been here in terms of economy and in terms of individual human rights. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And it is the mismanagement of this place that's probably what's kept people alive, because following the globalist agenda has resulted in a lot of people getting hurt, much more than by the emergency. So places where they've been sticking people with experimental jabs, they see a rise in numbers of cases. How many people here do I see these messages? Oh, such and such died, and he even got the injection. Well, is the question not, well, did he die because he got the injection? Simple questions. Haven't been properly answered at all. Oopsie. Right. Okay. Let's see. That's okay. Yep. Haven't been properly answered at all. Nope. This is a great example to understand all over the world the repercussions of bad, ineffective, corrupt, incapable management, and how many people suffer under bad management. This is all the more reason for people to understand that you should engage proactively and positively in any place where things are affecting you and your life and your experience here. Should, at least if nothing else, be aware. Because the lack of awareness, the lack of understanding, the result of it is that people make policies, make decisions, make choices for you that you do not want. And for the people that thought, oh, I'll just go along to get along, which is a lot of people in this world, how's that worked out for you? How has that worked out for you? Go along just to get along. You know where that going along gets you to get along? Them sticking things up your nose, in your butt, vaccine passporting you. This is where they want to go. Just crashing everything economically, making you broke, making you poor, making you dependent upon the state to just, do whatever it is that they ask. That's where go along to get along gets you. That's where giving up your power to external actors and agents that do not have your best interests at heart. And even if they had your best interests at heart, you still keep your power, your free will. It is your choice. How many people want somebody else to think for them? No, you need to take responsibility. It is your experience here. You need to take responsibility for your experience and your time here in this paradigm, in this sensory construct. You are responsible. And if you don't take responsibility, this thing is going to take you down a path of slavery, a path of destruction, a path of continually just going from bad to worse as you just try to keep your head down. No. You stay in this place, you try to keep your head down, it's going to get pummeled into the ground. You put your head up. Put your shoulders back. The kingdom is within you. The dominion of the king is within you. The rivers of living water flow from within you. The kingdom is within. How many different ways you want to say this? It's inside of you. what's necessary. You go within. Now, as you go within and as questions come up, questions raised, then along the way, sometimes you will be looking for something and you will find answers and external stimuli, but those will resonate with internal things going on. You'll have a question. Internally, you will get some answers. Externally, you'll get some things that prompt you, and it will resonate with what's internal, the answer that you already know within. How many times have you been searching or you've been interested in something, and as you looked into it, boom, right there, you will come across something. And what you come across resonates with what's within. You have so many gifts that have been given to you for your time here in this paradigm. And these are protectional, these are instructional, these are whatever it is that you need, you already have it coming in. Now the thief comes to try to steal, kill, and destroy those things, but you have them. You already have what you need to be able to be effective here, to be able to do what you need to do. There's a path of discovery that happens as you go within. Right now is an incredible time just to click over, because there's things that might have taken people decades before to understand, and you can just catch up in weeks and months. Because the frequencies are changing, the dynamics are shifting, everything is moving. But if you just have the heart for truth, things will become revealed. If you don't have a heart for truth, you are going to go the way of the lie. And if you go the way of the lie, it is not going well for those people. It is not going well for those people. They are coming apart. The more and more they try to hold the lie together, the more they come apart at the seams. At the seams, they are losing it. They're losing the narrative. They're losing they don't know what else to. They're trying to figure out how to put this whole thing together, waiting for their cues and their instructions from somebody else to tell them, this is what you do, this is how you do it, this is how you're supposed to believe. Yesterday it's this way, today it's that way. Yesterday these are the genders, this is the this is the way that you're supposed to say things, do things, act, believe. Don't think for yourself. Don't ask a question for yourself. By no means. And you know the problem, one of the problems is that one set's trying to get you to believe something, and then the antithesis of that, the other side, they're saying, no, don't believe like them, believe like us over here. It's not necessarily a dichotomy. Sometimes there's a third choice. Sometimes there's a 10th choice. Sometimes you don't want any of those choices, and you want to do something else. Who says it's got to be right or left? How about go up? How about go down? How about go back? How about go through, split the middle? How many other options are there? How about shift into another dimension? There is quit allowing for all of these no good sellouts to try to dictate the constructs of your experience while you're here. They have no right to do it. They have no position to do it. They have no knowledge to even be able to do it properly. What they're doing is pushing you into serving them in their thing. You don't need that. We don't need that. Never did. Never did. We don't need that. And I reject that. You reject that. You make the decision. You make the choice. You go forward in what it is that's within you to do. And you take action. You take action. I am tired of people just sitting there and thinking about it. Sitting there and intending about it. What are you going to do? You know, I think back one time I was this is around the time for the tsunami. I might have told this story before. And I was, getting up in the morning, and I was going to go and pray. And as I went and sat down to pray, then I was quickened. I was like, don't pray, get up and go. Now, for the religious side of me at that period of time, the religious side of me would have been like, no, that's the voice of the devil right there, trying to keep you away from the feet of God. You know what I'm saying? Like that religification that will keep you from taking action, from doing something. And I felt quickened. Don't stay here and pray, go. So I got up and I went to a place that I was had an invitation to go that day. Ended up meeting two people. One was from England and the other was from the Philippines. And in the meeting of those two people, it ended up changing the entire dynamic of what I would do when it came to work for the next several years, and the kind of people that I would meet, the kind of things that I would get involved with, the kind of training that I would get. This was after I finished my master's, but then the kind of training I would get. A lot of things happened by just doing that, following that inclination that was within. And in doing that, I met a couple of people. And they were just people doing what they were doing. But it was in that chance meeting that all of a sudden everything changed. The dynamics of my life changed tremendously just from that one experience. And that one experience led to a whole bunch of other experiences. Because was it because I was praying? No. It was because I moved and did something as quickened within. You and I need to move and do something as we are quickened within. And you know what? Get comfortable with that, because it's going to be required of you more and more in the days to come. You'll have to be very comfortable with taking action as you are quickened within. Because there's going to be resources that come into your life as a result of that. There's going to be people that you meet in your life as a result of responding to that. You're going to have a whole lot of things that unfold because you take action as you're quickened within. And nothing is going to happen if you stay there and are paralyzed and you want to wait and see. You want to sit there, wait and see. Okay, you're going to be waiting a long time and you're not going to see anything. How many people have been waiting for all kinds of things and nothing ever happens? Their lives come and go. Because they're paralyzed. You know what? They're paralyzed to do something, and they're afraid, but they dress it up in another way. You dress it up in another way. It's going to be a lot better just to be honest with yourself about where you're coming from and what the reasons are for what you do. If you've got fear, bring it out. I remember one time before I was going to be traveling into pretty messed up disaster management situation, and in the middle of that, in the middle of all those other dynamics, there was a hurricane on the way as well, and I had fear because I was going to be flying into a hurricane. I was like, what am I going to be in the middle of? But I stopped and I put that and I looked at it, and what was I feeling? First, you got to be honest about your emotions. And then I looked at that and I brought it forward. And one of the things that I was feeling, because it was not really an emotion that I feel very often, but I felt it that time. But one of the things that I was feeling was I was also picking up on the people. I was picking up on what the people were feeling. sometimes you'll be picking up on stuff from other people. Listen, there's so much reason and purpose for us to be here right now. And understanding who you are in this dynamic. We've talked the last couple of times about the simulation. And I talked to a buddy the other day. Okay, you can hack computer programming. You can hack a simulation. Don't you want to know how it works? Well, let's talk from a scriptural standpoint, so we don't go. We'll use that for a little bit. Okay, what does it say in the scriptures? Give, and it shall be given unto you. Now, how does that work with the simulation? Well, when you give, you're taking an action, and when you take an action, it has a response, because that action is something tangible that results in code. So give and it shall be given unto you. Well, what happened? You did something. You didn't think about giving. You gave. And that's why, too, you find so often that people that are generous, they always have to give. And people that are stingy and miserly, the little that they think they have, it's taken from them. Why? Because they feel like they don't have. And you're right, you don't have. Because you feel like you don't have, and you take action like a person that doesn't have. Give you one more example. From the stories in the Bible, since I know there are a lot of people that have that background, so we'll discuss them for the purpose of making the point. How many times is it just, what is that? What do you have? We'll put it to work. What's that in your hand, Moses? Well, throw it down. There you go. That's a stick. Boom. Done. And then that action is a step in the right direction. Shunammite woman, Elijah, what do you have? Okay, got a little bit of flour, a little bit of oil. Fine. Make me something to eat. Cool. Done. Food flowing. Action. Reciprocation in the simulation. I mean, I'm just talking like this because I'm fascinated with this for one major reason. That question was gnawing at me for so long about how the words in my Bible changed. And I tell you, I had Christian people, church leadership, pastors, either they said maybe they did see it, but then they didn't want to talk about it too much, or they tried to just wish it away, or they said, oh, well, this really hasn't changed, or that it's always been like this. But I knew for myself that this wasn't right. I was not going to let it go. And now, the answer to that question unlocks a whole lot of other stuff. And things like the world of Maya and illusion take on a whole different meaning now. Whole different understanding. There we go. Now we get it. So, in the answers, listen, if you once you get the answers that you need with some of this stuff, boy, I tell you, the rest of the things that get unlocked, it's empowering. But things are good, y'all. Things are good. And we're in a good place. Ask yourself this day, what are you going to do? What action are you going to take? You want things to be different? Take an action in that step. And be consistent about it and watch how things change. Do something different. See what happens. Trust the way that you're quickened within. Don't telegraph your punches. Just do it. All right. Love you guys. Bless you. Drop us an email, faithmix@gmail.com. Always love to hear from you. We'll talk to you again sometime soon. Bless you. Bye.